versus EU matchup on Chalet to kick off the Jönköping Major.
And of course, the first thing to come out is the Nook ban on Chalet. If there's anything that you're going to ban out, I reckon that's the perfect one to go against these Sonics. I feel like, especially a player like Gunnar, like we said just earlier, is going to come out with some of those odd flex picks that could be very challenging to deal with. Second attack ban, of course, attackers do have a lot of tools, a lot of options now. And actually taking out the Twitch is an interesting one to me. It leaves in a lot of tools for the attack. You've got your Thatcher still in, you've got your Flores still in. The thought process behind this one is curious to me.
That's really interesting. I do quite like that. Usually when you ban the Nook, I think you're going to maybe rely a little bit more on default cameras to try and get a bit of map control. There's a lot of really powerful ones on this map that can't be shot easily from outside. And the Twitch is great at taking out those default cams. So yeah, a lot less information, a lot more information on the defense with those two attacking bans gone. But fortunately, the Valkyrie has been banned. So it's not like defense is going to have absolute 4K coverage of the entire of Chalet.
This is a very interesting ban phase. So MNM, they've chosen to start on the defense. They come into the game, and the first thing that they ban out is Nook, right? And so taking that out early against the Sonics, I think is a pretty good move, to be honest. Not only that, but they've also decided to take us down to the basement as the first bomb site. Now, this bomb site, the way the architecture works, I think it plays really well into the bans that they've tried to go with. They're only segmenting off this bottom part. There are no windows to play cutoffs. There are no cheeky entries that you need to look at as well. And I think MNM, by doing that ban, are just trying to simplify down the map to something a little bit more manageable and achievable against the Sonics.
Look, Manny, I'm going to be real with you. I hate this bomb site. Really not a fan.
Really? A little bit of added pressure is kind of what you need to hold on to this basement bomb site.
I will say, even though we had that quick rehearse, I love to see all the players in good spirits. I think that was Grixer having a bit of a laugh. Someone was playing with the hand warmers. I will say, very cold here in Sweden. It's actually not that cold in the studio. I'm pretty warm.
A bit warm?
Yeah, I'm pretty warm here in the studio.
You're warm, but you've got your scarf on.
I know, but it's for fashion.
All in the name of beauty, bro.
All in the name of beauty. Actually, I actually quite like this scarf. I bought it yesterday. Do you like it?
I do like it. It's nice.
Let's talk about my clothes when we're on camera. How about, or just not at all? I think people would probably prefer that.
So here we go. What are we looking for from MNM? Like you said, they are dedicating some of those reinforcements to that top floor, to that mezzanine kind of area, because they don't want to give away that lobby control. Not only that, but they've even got a setup extended over on Solar. So really, this top floor control is vital to hold on to MNM in order to protect the vertical, in order to have a way to fall off and give something for Sonics to worry about.
I love that we've got the full 5-stack of just absolute ranked gunners as well on this defense. Oh. And yeah, Tyrant is going to get a kill 25 seconds into the round, taking down the Nomad, which is going to make Roma's lives even easier.
Little last-minute rotate as well for Nello to be able to fall off into the basement if needed. Now, Sonic's starting to shape their way around this southeastern bar side of the map, looking to cut down the roam that MNM have got going in that top floor inside of Library.
Geo on the Hibana. Oh, and there you go. He spots out the Aruni. Nello trying to hold not only his bar entry, but also this library window jump in. Such a difficult, if not impossible, angle to contest as an attacker. Nello really needs to be pushed from multiple angles.
And Sonics, what is their game plan here? They are starting to cut down this room. Gunnar has just made his way into Mudroom and is starting to sneak down into the basement. Nello there with a trade. Rexon to come back from that top floor. Library hopping just as you said, but Tyrant, is he there to claw one back?
Oh, this is going to be a bit scary now for Rexon. Doesn't have a lot of support. He does have Grixer on the opposing window, but it doesn't matter because Grixer's the only one left. In a 1v4, what a difficult position. Tyrant, a monstrous round. Cheeky wallbang to close it, and MNM show that Rome is the name of the game.
Big fan of the way that MNM played that basement bomb site. You said it wasn't your favorite, but I loved the way that they approached.
We didn't go anywhere near the basement that whole round, Mandy.
Well, that's the charm of the strat dev. They knew that they don't want to give up the map, because as soon as you give up the map, you give up lobby control, and that's vertical. That's going down, right? Those walls, they're going to be open because you have your Thatcher, you have all of your hard breach. You don't want to be sitting on the site. If you're sitting on the site in this basement with those bans that have come out, you're going to die. You're going to be dead. You're going to be cut down. And so going for that top floor roam and making sure they're contesting the Sonics that way is exactly the right way to play that, and they played that beautifully as well.
For me, it's a bit of a game of chicken, isn't it? Like, if you know that all of the defenders are roaming and really contesting that map, then you might go and try and get quick breach on site and bait them into falling off. But if you know that they're all anchoring, then you might take map control. It's a game of information and of reading your opponent.
Now they're going to be taking us to this bar and games bomb site. They're actually bringing along the mirror as well. And we've got one immediately put inside of mezzanine, the second one inside of storage. That mezzanine one is going to make a jumping in through library pretty tricky. They've also got the angles being held inside of small box with 2 Rios there. That contests that double window hopping as well. So really it's this two-way, two-facing crossfire that's going to be protecting that mezzanine. Now how will Sonics deal with it? Are they going to directly attack library? Is this what they're going to look for? Or are they going to try to sweep the map?
Well, I will say, we got Sonics picking both Lion and Dockerby. So they want to clear out any roamers. They want to make it a pain to move around, to hide. They want to get that free information. As the first E1D roars out, Users is playing this cheeky pinch position in the corner of library.
And it seems like this is going to be the first step as well for Sonics. They want to dedicate some of that utility just to clear off that corner of library, see if they can find a pick. We've already got the stuns set up on the side of Geo on the window. He's on the Hibana, as well as the double nades in the form of Gunnar and of Kanzan. If they can coordinate this onto Users, he could be a dead man. Ooh.
Wow, okay, it turns out it's a bit of an Uno reverse card. It's Users with a C4. Not only takes out Kanzan, but gets the injure onto Geo. That is huge. What a difficult position to flush out, even at the best of times, and now it's looking like the worst for Sonics.
But here we go. This is a bit of a lurk from Grix. So there is a player onside the Solar Stairs, and I think that's the Malusi of Neo just on the other side. Is he aware? He decides to fall back and give away a little bit of this Solar side of the map. Grixer now making his way inside of Kitchen. He's going to be able to cut down some of those anchors inside of Bar from this position if he can make his way into jungle.
I mean, really powerful position from Grixer, but really to me it feels like Eminem are the ones that have to make a mistake here in order to let Sonics get into this round. It looks like Eminem have actually forfeited control of library, at least playing inside of it. They're playing from around library now, but here comes Rexon. Lovely little pocket EMP as he walks through the bar door and spots out the Jaeger on side, but it doesn't matter. Nello is there and he gets the double. All up to Gunnar and Geo now. Low HP for Geo, but Gunnar here. 1 kill to his name, looking to double down. There's 4 opponents to find, but it's desperation for Sonics.
There's 4 opponents, but just look at how disciplined MNM are being about this. They're not giving away any of these picks. They know exactly where Gunnar is, just outside his library window, and they're not looking at him from the angle. Solitaov is able to clean up one more onto Geo, and now it's Gunnar in the 1-on-4.
Yeah, and he walking straight into a mirror window.
Whoa,
he can take down Nello, but there's Solitaov up on the library hatch, and it's 2 very convincing rounds for MNM.
You could tell that Users has scrimmed that position so many times in the corner of library. He sat there, he had his C4 prepped with the lineup to get it over the top of the shelf just as that utility started to come through. And that perfect timing to fall off the hatch, take down Kanzan, that was your set of nades gone. It all eventually fell apart from there. Someone had to rotate, pick up Geo, and by then there's just so much time wasted. That direct attack didn't work, and really they were playing straight into the hands of those mirrors.
You know what, Mandy? I think I got a feeling I know why Eminem picked to start defense here on Chalet.
Yes.
They know their way around a defense on this map, I tell you what.
I was questioning it at the start. As soon as we got that veto come through, I was like, defense Eminem to Sonics? The early round team, but they're showing us exactly why they did it. They have a great read of the way that Sonics attack this map. Every single strat that they've brought out, Sonics seem to have played into their hands. And even with no VODs on this team, I'm really impressed by what they've been able to bring out so far.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, they are really confident, and they're bringing a lot of little, I'm not going to say pocket strats, but they're taking a lot of concepts that people have done before, and they're just innovating in little ways. Like, you know, don't often see Mirror on that side. You don't often see Castle here on this side. Immediately being dealt with. Gunner's actually going to use an Ash breaching round. Kind of surprising not just get sledged to the hammer, but I guess it is a matter of urgency.
Gunnar, of course, like we said, he is that bit of an X-Factor player for the Sonics. He's the one that makes the odd pick and enters through the odd spots. He's already made his way up through the West Main, and Tyrant, though, is able to shut down Geo there on the Hibana. That's your hard breach going down early. But Gunnar, hang on.
Gunner's in the middle of site. Rexon's already found a pick, and the site has been taken. What on earth has happened here? It's going to have to be a retake now for Eminem, as Solitov's already found one. Coming down from the solar stairs. Can get another one. Quick finish off with the impact. And perhaps Gunnar has bitten off a little bit more than he can chew here in the site. Eminem are not to be fooled.
Really quick retake on the side of Eminem, and now Kansan left all alone with the diffuser in hand, making his way up West Main, has been spotted by the player just behind that Solitaov on the other side, contesting these angles early. Not just that, but look at that, New's even got the vertical control. It's going to be impossible for Kansan to win this one.
And there you go, quick pre-fire from Solitaov, and the Turk on the lurk is so good on that retake. Eminem, 3 rounds straight.
Eminem, it just feels like they are so prepared coming into this match. Like, absolutely everything that they have done, they've been able to shut down everything that Sonics do. It's like they're just ready for it, you know? The moment that Sonics try and change the pace, they tried to do it in that round there. They tried to hit the site early. Even in the previous round when the Sonics pivoted and went for that lobby-sided take with Grixer inside of Kitchen, it just felt like Eminem was straight on it. They immediately matched pace with the Sonics and are able to shut them down, and that's something that's very uncharacteristic playing against this NA roster.
And we're taking a tactical timeout now for Sonics. Man, they certainly need to get on it. In EUL, this map, Chalet, is actually dead 50-50 over 56 rounds. So it is not spelling death yet for Sonics, because they could, in theory, even up the scoreline going to the second half, make it 50-50. Having a look, it's actually quite defensive favoured in NAL. Over 51 rounds, it's a 57% defense win rate. So perhaps Sonics aren't too stressed yet. They will have confidence in their defensive side. But the thing is, Eminem statistically have been very good at attacking this map. So in my mind, Sonics really have to gun for this 3-3 half here. A 2-4 may well not be enough, and a 1-5 or an 0-6 is, I think, GG.
Going back down to this basement bomb site for Eminem, doesn't look like they're changing up their strategy too much. On the side of the Sonics, though, they've changed their lineup quite significantly. They're not going to go for that roam clear as indicated by their repicks. We've got double hard breach in the form of Geo and of Gunnar. We've also got the Thatcher coming out on the side of Grixer instead, so maybe looking to change their approach. Let's not contest this guy on the roam. Let's go try and open up some of these walls, force them to come back down onto the side and force them into that retake situation.
In my mind, if you're facing good roamers, you really need to do a little bit of both. You can't clear out a roam without pressuring the site, because the roamers know if there's no site pressure, then they can just keep committing to that roam. If you start to bait a little bit, a site push, especially after Sonics did a rush that last round, it would force Eminem to perhaps be a little bit more conservative, not commit quite as many players and resources. And that's why I'm really glad to see Gunnar just straight on it, opening up this breach. That said, Eminem can still be pretty happy that the entry won't come through yet with those Surya gates already blocking the way. As I say that, Gunnar's going to take one of them down.
I don't mind what the rest of the Sonics are doing, though. Even though they're directly hitting the site with that, with those ace charges going on, or with those Selmas, they've placed the rest of their entries and their cutoffs, anticipating that Eminem are going to get a little bit overzealous on that retake and come back too quickly. So far, the Eminem roamers are playing this one pretty patiently. They can see the lobby's been open. They can see that West Main is starting to be contested, and they don't want to fall into that trap early. Solitaov even is able to take the fight onto the trophy window and take down Kansan.
Yeah, 1 minute into the round, and he's already found a kill. He's 8-0 at the moment. Solitaov, I mean, everyone who's an Eminem fan, very thankful that he got his visa right about now. Oh my God, another one! When is he gonna stop?
There is another player outside that trophy winner, that's Geo, and he's just missed him a little bit on that cutoff playing inside of Split. Now the Sonics, they really cut down on their resources. They cut down their resources in firepower, and it's going to be up to them to claw back some of these picks on the roam. Now Eminem, what have they done with this information and with this man count? Have they actually fallen back to the side, or are they still... They're still holding on, Dev. They are still holding on to this roam, even though they have such a strong man advantage. They know that there's just simply not enough Sonics players to be able to take this full map control, and they don't want to give it away.
I think the Eminem morning curse might have worn off. Perhaps it's been transferred to Sleepy Sonics. I can tell you what, Solitaov is certainly not asleep. He is firing on all cylinders. He's about to hit double digits, and he hasn't even died yet.
They're being so patient about this. Gio has made his way into the basement instead, but this is going to be such a dangerous position for them to be in. They're going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Any second now, they're going to open up the site. They're going to be stuck between an anchor. And now, oh, hang on, Gunnar. Okay, he just sees one, but Solitaov is able to get the trade back, thankfully. Now the trade is starting to go back and forth as well. Back up the west main, Grix is able to take one down now. 2-on-3 situation, but still anchors left on the site to deal with.
Well, at least if I'm Sonic's fan right now, I'm saying, all right, Solitov's dead. It's winnable. But here is Neo. Hasn't found engagement yet. Grixer does manage to trade out Nello, making it a 1v2 for poor Gio. Hasn't found a kill as of yet. There you go. Gets his first. Can he clutch up? He's got to land the shots on the users who goes for the peak, but the Warden comes out on top. An Eminem streak will not be broken.
Oof, that was getting a little bit scary though for Eminem. I really thought they had that one in the bag, and then as soon as Gunnar was starting to peek through the hole, I was like, oh, does he see him? Does he see him? It's just part of the wall, but he eventually got it. Eminem almost giving away that to a 1 versus 1, but eventually clawing that one back. I didn't mind the approach from Sonics there. That tactical timeout was clearly to talk about the philosophy going into it. They said, okay, let's not contest them early in the roam, try and cut them down, force them back onto the site, and then play those cut-off positions when they rotate back. But Eminem are so disciplined. That's what they were on that roam. They went, okay, we know that they are cutting us off. We know that this is Chalet. We've played this map so many times like we saw in their match history, and they weren't going to fall for that Sonic's trick.
No, Solitov's been falling for not much. He's been having the game of his life. It's honestly very rare that you see a player perform just this well to kick off a game. The fact that he got 10 kills before dying is ridiculous. It's unheard of. And the fact that that only happened in 4 rounds as well. I mean, the poor guy's streak's been broken. He's now been traded, but hey, I'll take a 10.0 KD.
Yeah, imagine
I'll take that.
Pretty incredible from Eminem. I'm really impressed by how little silly mistakes they're able to make, you know? Like, they come into this map and they just look so mature. Their strat books looks really fleshed out. Even the timings that they're able to fall off and play it, it's just perfect. The execution's fantastic. Now the Sonics are going to have to look to claw back 2 more rounds if they want to come back in this attacking half. Grixer, he's back on that entry. They've still just left the hard breach onto Geo. It is, in fact, bar game, so you don't often need that much hard breach, but they're actually going to bring the Cap Tower to try and deal with this library corner instead.
I'm really mindful of this early round. Every single round, the opening kill has gone to Eminem within a minute.
Oh.
Wait a second. Kansan, he drops straight in. Nello trades him before he's able to do much damage. Perhaps there was information for Kansan that there was no one playing that mirror, but that's a huge risk to take and it doesn't work out.
Nello's fallen back onto the site, but what that means is how much library control have they given up at this point? There's no one playing in that corner library anymore. They don't need to do that utility jump. They just need to worry about Solitaov here inside of Mezzanine. Meanwhile, Gunnar, he's putting the pressure on the site from inside of Mudroom. Eminem have a lot to worry about.
Yeah, there's a lot to worry about now for Sonics, to be frank. Still a huge amount of roaming. Solitov's just protected his mirror, taking down the Hibana pellets. I do like that play from Gio to use Hibana. But really, I wish there was someone on this reverse repel, because that would have punished Solitaov already. There's still no one. He could just swing this and take down the X-Karos. He doesn't want to risk it, but the option's there. Oh, he saw the play across, saw the shadow, and Rexon's made his way into lobby and back out again.
And this is problem-solving time for the Sonics. They've got their drones in. They've seen the setup that MNM are doing. It's adjacent to the site. It's not directly inside. You've just got Nello there. And how are they going to deal with that? They try to attempt jumping inside of Library, but Solitaov now has the diffuser in his hands inside of Library as well. Nello to take down another, and once again, MNM in the man advantage.
Yeah, such a significant one too. And map control and diffuser still firmly within Eminem's grasp. It could be a kill, and it is. Good recoil control to get that back on track for Grixer. Takes down users, but here's Neo on the vertical angle. What a cheeky one. All on Grixer, the man himself. So hyped up. Such a phenomenal player, and there's the first of the 3 he needs. Time to work with here.
30 seconds as well, making his way up the library stairs. Where are the last 2 Eminem players? Time and time again, they have been known to throw, as we've been told from our lovely chat. And now, starting to make his way around the library box. Are they going to give it away to him? But there are 2 Eminem players there to be met.
They got that diffuser within their grasp. They got time on their side. He's got to land 2 nutty shots. That's the first one. And now he's got the mirror. It's Grixer again. He always does it. He always delivers. Sonics find their first round on the back of a 1v3.
And that is such great Sonic's fashion as well. We always say Grixer, Kunz, and Rexen, those guys are your death tree. You don't want to give them anything. They have so much individual prowess and gunpowder that you really just cannot be giving away those one-on-ones like that. Even though Eminem were playing so close together, even though they were almost there for that trade, Grixer's just too sharp on that Zofia.
Yeah, man, if I'm Eminem, I'm regretting that one. You said it, they admitted themselves, they are prone to sometimes ceding their advantages, throwing a little bit. Actually, was that a 1v3 or a 1v4? I think it was a 1v3, but he found a 4K on the round. He found the last 4 kills. Almost a 1v4, to be frank. That's the firepower you expect from Grixer. And perhaps for Eminem, that's a bit of a harsh lesson. They still have the advantage, and they're still, in my opinion, looking likely to take this 5-1. Don't expect Grixer to be able to do that every round. But they do have to be careful, because if Eminem let rounds like that through, it'll get very scary.
Look, if you ask me, it was bound to happen eventually. We are watching Eminem on Chalet after all, but they're looking to go back to this Baron Games bomb site, identifying that, well, they didn't make any macro mistakes there. That all came down to the micro and just those final few gunfights. There's nothing that was glaringly wrong with their strategy. So they're going to go back again, not really change their setup all too much, and we'll see what Sonics have to offer. Now, Gunnar, he's on the Amaru. That interests me, and we no longer have the hard breach as well of Geo. He's been enabled by those Flores drones to take down more of the utility on his own.
Well, it's a last chance now for Sonics to find a round on their attacking side. Like I was saying before, if this is not a 2-4 half for Sonics, I just cannot see them winning this game or even pushing overtime. And having 0 points at the end of this match would be devastating.
Oh, but here we go. Kunz here with the Capital Bolt off the back of some of these C4 as well from users. The flashbangs don't really connect, and he's able to get away with his life. Not actually flashed, able to fall back through the hatch. And Kunz, though, he does have that corner of library control now in his hands. It's up to Eminem to see how they're going to hold on to this entry point. Sonics, are they going to rotate? That's my question, right? Now that they have this corner library control, are they going to keep contesting Eminem from here, or are they going to go somewhere else?
Well, once again, that's 6 for 6 opening kills for Eminem, with Geo going down, but a bit of map control, a bit of a backstab from Gunnar. What's he going to be able to do on this Amaru here?
Starting to make his way through the piano room. Just crouch walking in, but Eminem not giving away their life to him just yet. He may be met by a player at the top of these library stairs any second now. That's a shield, and that's Neo sitting behind it on the Jaeger.
Actually, you might not have seen him. Tyrant has to be careful not to be caught out here, but it really is Neo's job on the stairs there to cut him off. Here comes that E1D. Oh, Gunnar's got information. He goes for that wall bang, and he does eventually nail down Tyrant, but Neo's taken down Kansan and is still holding on to the top of these stairs. Still man advantage for Eminem as well, but we've seen that they can let that slip. What is going to be able to do on this Amaru?
That utility burn is starting to come through, and so Neo's just made his way back down to the basement library stairs instead. The rest of Sonics pivoting over to that library control instead, now that they have mezzanine. All the M&M players now much more claustrophobic, left on the bomb site, ready to face the onslaught of Sonics.
This is good progress for Sonics. They have that control above and around the site. Now they just have to start finding some picks and getting ready for that execute.
30 seconds now, but Rexen on so low HP and Eminem still in the man advantage. They have to make something happen.
But here comes Solitaov. He's been the hero of this game. Can't land the second spray. Grixer's going to have to go big like he did just one round before. Rexen low HP coming down from blue stairs as Grixer makes his way in from lobby. This is going to be a difficult one. He's got 2 players in his sights. Can't land the shots. It's going to be a 5-1 half for Eminem to kick off the major.
And what a fantastic end round there from Eminem as well. We could see from Grix's POV, that was a visible 3-2-1 swing from Eminem. Yeah. Where whoever the player was on library says and whoever was inside library, that was a very visible, all right, ready, set, okay, go. Now we're going to fight Grixer because they know they can't give away their man advantage like that. Much more discipline from the side of Eminem. Even though they forfeited that control of that top floor and of that kitchen side to Sonics, because there was just so little time and because they were so disciplined and swung together right at the end there, that clawed the end round in their favor much, much more convincingly.
Well, Mandy, we switch sides, and there are absolutely no doubts now why Eminem picked defense. They are defense chads on Chalet, it seems. 5-1. Tyrant, Solitaov, 13-2. Absolutely nutty stuff. Oh, man, it's scary for Sonics. I'm now having a look at the Berlin Major. The combined standings, I correct myself, they were actually 4th last. So they did end up getting above Gaming Gladiators. And Sonics did end up getting a win in the Berlin Major. They're certainly looking rough to get a win this game, though, I will say.
I'm really impressed by the way that M&M were able to play that defense half. That showed a lot of discipline. Chalet is one of those maps where it's very easy to make a silly mistake. It's very easy that once you're on that roam, you get the timing wrong on the fall off and you get cut off from a window, something like that, such as the architecture of this map. But M&M knew exactly the timings that they wanted to fall off. They knew exactly where was safe to do it and where wasn't safe to do it, and they didn't do it until they had that information and knew. Now they're on their attacking half. The Sonics are going to have to repeat that same form if they want to... Hang on a second, Dev. I don't even think I should keep talking. M&M, they're looking like they're going to rush straight into the bomb site.
This is a set piece. Look at Nello droning this out. We got Neo ready with a sledgehammer. I hear a Gon 6. I hear 2 Gon 6s. I hear the jump in. Doesn't need the hammer. The window was prepped all along. And here comes Tyrant. He's got full piano control. He's found a double. Kansan and Geo to retake. Off in La La Land. Nowhere near the site. Poor Geo. What's he going to be able to do? In Dining now, he does still have a bit of control of the map, but he's been spotted out. He's, well, the Piranhas are circling. He's in such an awkward position. It's a flawless round, and guess what, Mandy? Match point for the EU favourites of MNM.
Fantastic change of pace as well from the side of M&M. They knew that they were going to look for that top floor hold. Because it is kitchen, you need to hold on to that hatch for as long as possible, play that vertical, prevent them from coming up West Main early, and they were able to make such an explosive entry. The momentum on the side of M&M is exactly what they capitalized on in that round. They knew that the Sonics, they're feeling disconnected, they're feeling sparse right now, and catching them off guard with a fast-paced push, with a jump in like that, is exactly the way to play against a team that is disconnected right now.
So I think what happened is the defenders had actually double hit the bathroom window. Yeah, the bathroom window. There you go. Yeah, the jump. I guess usually it would be to jump out on someone who's playing on the balcony or like somewhere else, maybe on the library rappel. But yeah, that certainly did not pan out for them how they intended. I'm going to say it now. I think I mentioned it earlier, but now that we're 7 rounds in, I think it's especially relevant. Every single round, M&M have found the opening pick, and Sonics have only traded it back 1 time.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. I'm really impressed by the way that M&M are starting to play into this LAN environment as well. M&M, they're a team that they were always considered the underdogs in this LAN situation, right? They're always the newbies here. They crumble under the pressure. But right now, the confidence that last round exuded is just unmatched by Sonics in the series, who are actually LAN veterans, right? This team has really come into their form, and they're really looking comfortable, even in a 10 a.m. game. And just, yeah, this has been so impressive from their side.
It certainly has. What a phenomenal start to the performance. Like you said, 10 a.m. game as well. We love harping on about that. It's not over yet, but for me, it just feels like a formality at this point. And what a shame for Sonics. I mean, they had such a resurgence in Stage 3. They've had 2 months with this new roster, and it's been enough to make it to a second major for this year, but is it going to be enough to make it out of groups? I'm not too sure.
I really like what Nello's just done there. He's gone on the floors and he's cleared the 2 Malusi Banshees inside of lobby. And what that means is at any time, M&M could hit lobby if they would like. And that gives a lot of pressure to the Sonics. They need to be actively watching that because they have no more passive intel to deal with it.
So smart from M&M. Oh, look at this wall bang from Rexon. Good read. Solitaov taken low. Not taken out as of yet. Geo's really feeling this pressure, though, playing in the corner of Library. Such a difficult spot. He's been droned out. Tyrant is taken down by Rexon. And finally, for the first time, Sonics get the opener.
Bit of a switch up in positions though from M&M. Users has decided to go into the lobby instead and is able to take down Grix, and now man advantage even. 2 players just outside of Library getting ready for that utility burn. That's Nello with a flashbang out at the moment. Starting to clear out that corner Library position. Syria Gate's just been reset. And suddenly this has made it a little bit more tricky for M&M to make their way into Library.
I'll admit, I'm kind of scared now for Eminem. This has looked like a really good Sonics round. They've wasted so much time. They still have that player corner Library, but there's Gunnar taken down to that nade. That's the player in the corner Library, I believe. If not, then the player in corner library has fallen back. Oh no, it was actually at mezzanine. That's a nice nade. I love the splash you can see. Here comes Kansan though, so Sonics may be on a resurgence.
Mana advantage even once again, and Eminem are going to have to be very careful to try slip through the cracks of this defense, but they only have 35 seconds left to do it. Tyrant, he's been taken down low and is very, very dangerous going into this bomb site.
Here comes the map control that Eminem have been searching for. And with it, the vertical game is enabled. Sledge getting to work. Not a lot of time left. Kansan on site with that DMR, watching the hatch drop. Realistically, Eminem need to find a pick before they can collapse on the site, and there it is. That's Kansan going down. Here comes Gio. Oh, but he's been taken out. This could be it, Mandy. It's all up to Rexon. He's had a phenomenal round so far, and he's got the diffuser. He's going to keep pushing it, and he does. He clutches it on time. Sonics, they keep their heads above water.
Oh, what a back and forth round that was in the late round as well. The Sonics, they gave away so many picks to Eminem, getting that lobby control, like I said in the early game. Getting those Banshees off the wall really ended up paying off for Eminem. They had to force Sonics players to watch it actively. We saw users get in and out. Nello was able to get in and out of there as well. And just the reciprocity of that, the attrition of that round was pretty crazy, right? It was the difference between getting library control and getting lobby control, and who was worrying about what position at what time. And as the round continued to go onwards, it just happened to be that Sonics came out on top with the diffuser in such an awkward position.
Oh. Yeah, well, one thing I will say for Sonics is that felt to me like the first round where they really had some confidence, they had some control. And it started with Rexon just running around the map on that Oryx. He also ended up clutching the round. He found the opener and he clutched the round, so huge one from him. Even though, as you can see from the kill scoreline, Sonics has been struggling. Not a single player going positive at the moment.
Now the Sonics are going to take us down to this basement bomb site and employing quite a different philosophy to what Eminem are bringing as well. They've got a Miro just inside of Dining, as pointed out to us, and they're still holding on to this top floor roam as well, aided by that mute to try and deny those entry drones, holding on to this position inside of Closet for as long as possible, forcing Eminem to make a decision here. Are they going to go for that roam clear, or are they going to try and hit the site directly?
They have time to work it out as well. We've seen that Eminem are happy to assess their situations. They don't always commit to the same push every time. Down in Snowmobile Wine, though, a couple of defenders still reside, I believe. It's not all roaming as of yet. How many roamers do we have? So Grixa, Gunner, Rexon. I think that's it? Just the three.
So I think Nello is about to open up the window for Tyrant to make an explosive entry. If I'm not wrong, I could be reading this completely wrong. But Tyrant is going to have a full mag when he entries into that top floor. Do the Sonics know? Do
they have info is my question. Solitaov's now made his way into office. He's protected as well. Opening up a line of sight as Gunner on that slow operator starts to fall back, and you can see all these three roamers from Sonics starting to peel their way back. Except for Gio, hiding up in library. But Eminem, now is the time that they can set up this mid-round. If they want to, they don't need to clear the entire map dev. All they need to do is make sure they can't retake this top floor and they can't retake kitchen if they want to go for a backsided take in the big garage, right? And that's exactly what those flank drones have just been set up. I might steal Tyrant's drone here, or is it that he's just put inside of library for my own ranked games? And what that's doing is that's segmenting off this attacking side of the map. They can now bring their hard breach down on Neo. They can bring users as well with those EMPs to start working the back as the rest of the Eminem players are left on the cutoff, anticipating the retake that will come through later on. Taking a moment to breathe, I want to appreciate Neo's skin choice. Very, very nice. Now, Easy, I'm going to borrow you for a second. Could we have a quick look at what Tyrant is looking at on his drones? I know that is a very frustrating thing. So Tyrant on these two drones has segmented off this top side of the map. He's actually just seen Gio cross on that second drone. He's gotten off his drones now, anticipating that he's going to open up the hatch with the shotgun or coming down the solar stairs. Meanwhile, though, Gunner's able to take down Solitaov on the site. Nello does manage to get a trade back on site, though, and Gio has been cut off. Look at that, Mandy. You said it. I said it. Tyrant read it perfectly. And now Eminem are going for this plant. The smoke may well make that a little bit more difficult. Gunner certainly will, as he's going to live up to his name before he is shut down. 2v3 now, but of course it's Grixa for a double. He's the saving grace that Sonics needed. Tyrant now might be on flank watch duty, but now he's on clutch patrol. 1v2 is going to go hunting down in blue, and Kansan is not going to give him anything. A quick spray, and Sonics starting to mount this comeback.
That was some really nice composure there in the site from Sonics, even though that execute came through, even though that flank watch came through as well and Geo couldn't be successful on it. That plant denial they had in the form of the smokes, in the form of the C4s, they played that to perfection. They threw in the utility, it didn't overlap, they wasted a lot of time as a result. The C4 went through at a different timing to the smoke, and it really stalled out MNM as they were trying to get into the bomb site, even though they had their walls open, right? As a result, able to take another round. We're now at 3-6 for the Sonics. Manageable scoreline, but still dangerous at match point.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a real tough slog to get to that overtime for Sonics, but now that they've got 2 defenses in a row under their belt, and the comfort of having at least 1 attack on their previous side, thanks to the Grix's 1v3, it's starting to feel a little bit more doable. I will say, on the face cams, this whole game, Sonics have looked pretty quiet. Not the energy that we used to expect from them. Perhaps, you know, maybe not having Yeti is affecting that a little bit. I haven't watched as much NAL of these guys as I did watch them, you know, at the previous major and back at Six Invitational. Can't tell whether they're quiet because they've been struggling this game or because that's just their personalities now.
I think if there's any asterisks on this roster, it's the problem-solving skills, right? Before they had Super, and Super had a very methodical way of IGLing this team. He had a checklist to go through each map. He had a method and a way that each team knew really well. But what you need in this current meta is adaptation, and you need a very vocal roster, and you need one with really strong problem-solving skills. And if you don't have that IGL, and if you don't have that super vocal roster that hasn't been together for a very long time, it can be quite challenging, especially when you're going against a team like Eminem, who've clearly been very well prepared for this single best of 1. This strat book is pretty intense. It's going to be very hard for this roster to get back into it with the nature of their team dynamic.
Eminem circling. Oh, what a shot from Gunnar. He's had a phenomenal 2 rounds now. He was one of the saving graces for Sonics on the site, whittling down those defenders, and now Tyrant's taken out. This is actually not looking too shabby for Sonics here, Mandy. It turns out it wasn't that it was an M&M opening kill game, it was a defense opening kill game.
Well, I don't mind the approach that Eminem have gone for here. They're going to look for this kitchen solar-sided take. Solitaov has just made his way into jungle, anticipating that a defender might be trying to retake this position. But in fact, kitchen has been given up to them. They do have the buck in their hands on Solitaov. And so once that onslaught does start to come through, the utility to clear out closet, that's going to be doubled down with that vertical pressure. And they're going to be able to start to cut down this defense from a floor below.
Here comes those Capitao firebolts from users, caught by the magnets and ineffectual. That's quite unfortunate for users, did not fulfill his goal. Solitaov looking for this vertical game, waltzes up the solar stairs and got full vision into that site. Geo's in a powerful position here in the bathroom, but where will this push from Eminem go from? What a shot from Solitaov! It's a double, and he's cracked 15. 4v3 now, and this man is hungry for more.
And the buck is going to be so dangerous on that soft wall with the sledge as well. They can now make a running hole into the bomb site. They don't need vault in or do anything dangerous like that. And that execute could come through at any time from the M&M.
Here comes Nello with that execute, as you said, 40 seconds still on the clock. And Neo is the saving grace. That's a C4, very nice from Grixa. Once again, it's his name on our lips to save the game for Sonics, but he's gonna have to do a whole lot more. 1v3, we've seen him do it before. Can he do it again? He's got information on the back of that BPC, and he's gonna have to thread the needle. He does hit the first one. Vector in hand, covering the cross as users on the window didn't see him, and he does spray him down. Eminem finally closes out what was a fairly dominant game, 7-3, taking down the Sonics.
That was so impressive from Eminem. They put all my doubts to rest in that pre-match, taking us to defense, playing something really smart. They had an excellent read onto the Sonics. It just never felt like the Sonics were there to match pace, match the strat book. Eminem was there all the way along.
A huge game from Eminem. What a phenomenal start on their defense. They let it slip a little bit in the second half. They let Sonics get back into it, but there's no doubt in my mind, Eminem will be very happy with that result. A huge dub, the full 3 points, a morning win as well, if you want to bring that up.
Yes.
For Sonics, though, that's a pretty hard L to cop. That was such a difficult first half.
I'm just so impressed by how much prep Eminem clearly put into that matchup. That one, all the strats were clearly so tailored into the way that Sonics were able to approach that map, right? It felt like everything that Sonics were trying to do, they were immediately met by an Eminem player there. Even when Sonics tried to pull some tricks up their sleeve, like playing some odd cutoffs and stuff like that,